In this episode of Mighty Car Mods, we're starting work on the Honda. Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods, proudly supported by Just Car Insurance. Now the time has come to do a bit more work on the Honda. I know a lot of you have been waiting, but working on the Hondas, like B-Tech, it takes a very long time until anything actually happens, and we were the same, so we're just embodying that technology. Now, as I said when I first bought the car, there are a lot of things about the car that are very awesome, and a lot of people that buy them just leave them stock because they're fast, they load, they handle well, they're really, really good cars. And a lot of people, the purists anyway, they don't want to change things. But I have had the car long enough now that I do want to change some things. Plus, we've got some very, very exciting plans for the car. Something very special that we'll be announcing soon that we're doing in conjunction with Just Car Insurance. But for today, I'm down here. There's no Marty here, of course. No surprises. He's off with his MX-5 mates again. They're having a picnic somewhere. But I do have a couple of special guests that are coming to help me with the car. We've got lots of stuff to do. So come with me on this magical journey of discovery because it's going to be an amazing day.
For the last year of owning this car, it has been awesome. But now it's time to start the mods. Starting with some of the basics, like a stereo that actually worked would be nice.
So one of the things we say to anyone who's modifying their car when they're like, I want to do things and make it better, is we say, check out some handling, some suspension, and make the stereo awesome. So it's something that you'll actually look forward to driving. Now, the stereo on this has been absolutely rubbish. The install, as you can see, has been absolutely rubbish, but we have Miles from the Mighty Car Mods Forum who has generously donated his time. Hello, mate.
How you doing, mate?
I'm good. And we're doing an install today.
Yes.
Now, before we have a look at the cool stuff that we've got over there, I just wanted to get your opinion on, because you've installed on Ferraris and Lambos and you've done all sorts of like supercars and mad cars and you've done this professionally, what do you think of the quality of this, this particular install here? Look at this. This is just held on with what looks like chewing gum. And the tweet, I've never seen that kind of a tweeter install before. Just, oops. Oh.
No, you don't.
Do you ever see that professionally, that kind of quality?
No.
Do you even see the homemade MCMers doing it such in a rubbish fashion like that? No. Me neither. So what's the plan? What are we going to do?
Well, fix that for one. Fix that microphone. Probably change the head unit.
Yep.
And the speakers, we'll check the wiring. There's already an amp in the boot. Yep. So we're going to check the wiring, see if that's okay. If not, we'll tear it out, put some new stuff in.
I do believe that you and Marty went to Super Cheap and got some mad stuff.
We did.
Time to get some parts.
And in this case, yes, it will fit his Honda. So, stereo bits,
Yep.
wiring,
Yep.
speakers, amps. So we've picked a few things off the board that we think will work. Splits, a head unit, one that we can hopefully do steering wheel remote with. And then going to try and look at a sub, but we also need wiring. So, amp wiring kit, yeah?
Yeah. So wiring, RCA, some more wire, speakers.
And we'll be wiring stuff in, so we don't need any sort of adapters or anything, right?
Yeah.
We're going old school.
Yeah.
There's also a few other bits and pieces that we need to replace, like wiper blades and parkers. Having a car stereo that works and sounds good should be on the must-do list for anybody that's into modifying their street car, and it can be surprisingly cost-effective.
We've got a head unit.
Yes.
We've got some splits for the
Yes.
front. We've got a new amp.
Oh, good. Because the amp that's in, let me just show you what's in there currently, and the quality install continues back here with this. So this here, this is like it's not attached at all. It looks like it's had some kind of double-sided tape that's not stuck to anything, just Velcro. And again, a bit of a rubbish install. And it's really heavy and old school. So we get rid of that. We put in some new stuff. And that's the first part of our Honda makeover. So let's get to it, man. So when we did our battle with the MX-5 and Miles helped with the NOS install, the electrical side of things, this was just done because we didn't have a whole lot of time before the race, but obviously there's a cleaner way of doing this. There's all sorts of cool stuff that we can do, like you might have seen what Miles did with Gramps. cool controls on here, different things that you could use to control this. But for now, this stuff's going to come off because there's a heaps cleaner way that we can do that. And we just want to kind of get rid of all of these bits and pieces so that we've got a cleaner workplace to do the stereo, and then we can sort out this stuff later on.
The door panels are coming off so we can inspect the previous owner's wiring, plus see why the speakers aren't working.
Are those wires just hanging off?
Yeah, they are.
So that explains why that wasn't working for starters.
Quite possibly. Someone's just twisted this together. And
Oh,
then
no solder, nothing.
no solder. There you go. Speaker out.
Oh, okay, well that explains why that one wasn't working. You know, the other thing I was thinking as well though, that because this head unit here is actually working with all the factory controls, which is really cool, and that could be a bit of a mission with another one. So I reckon if we test it and this is working and it's fine, I reckon let's not make it hard for ourselves. Let's leave that in there, test the wiring, and then solder up proper new speakers, get rid of this phone thing, and then we investigate a sub in the boot. That way we're just replacing speakers,
Yep.
check the power, check the wire, and then we can move on.
Yep. Done.
Hello, Benny.
Hey dude, what's up?
Thanks for helping out, man.
No worries, dude.
Thanks for letting us use the shop.
No, that's fine.
Benny, what is that? That was in the door.
Looks like it's a sanding pad. Sure.
The amp already in the car needs to go, and we need to replace the wiring, but before that, an exciting delivery has just arrived.
Wheels.
Wheels, man.
Awesome. Gonna be epic, dude. Look at that. Are you loving the Honda yet?
I'm coming around.
I pumped the MX-5 last week.
It's good because it's going.
Oh man, come on.
Choosing the right set of wheels for your car is like choosing the right set of shoes for your feet, and then everyone on the internet can argue about whether they like them or not, but I think these are going to be perfect.
So excited right now. Ah. 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 That's what I'm talking about. Nodding of approval, nods of approval. Benny, nods of approval.
I like them. They're my favourite.
Every Honda needs them, don't they? Did you say they're your favourite?
Yeah.
Where are you taking them?
Put them on my stage up.
Dude, don't put them on your Stagia. Come on, man. Benny.
Scotty, who helped me with my nitrous install, also has these same wheels on his Subaru drag car, so they must be good. Okay, we've got the wheels, and now it's time to go and get them wrapped in some rubber and balanced up at the tyre shop, which is just around the corner. Then it's back to Ichiban to finish off the speakers and wiring because we've got more deliveries that are due at any minute. While we're working on the wiring, we've got a 3D printer that's building a test piece for some custom parts that we'll be using later in the build. The existing head unit is working perfectly with all of the car's factory controls, so we've decided to leave that in, which is going to save us some time. And now we finish the speakers and tweeters so the door trims can go back on. Next, it's time to remove the vinyl stripe and take the car back to a clean skin, which reveals my secret weapon, the hidden chopped fingers, a must for any car that's going to the drags. Meanwhile, our test piece has finished on the printer successfully, and with that, it's time to get on the hoist and remove the wheels. And we've just had another delivery. Time to get down. We're lifting up the car so we can swap out the springs.
If this is anything like an MX-5, is it going to be a pain in the ass to get these springs
Yeah,
out?
it's not going to be fun.
Why is that, Benny?
Because it's a double A-arm suspension, you got to sort of manipulate the strut out, and more often than not, because the springs are pretty large, they're going to get caught on the top arm or sway bar links and all sorts of stuff. It's just going to get caught up.
Is this your first time working on a Honda?
Yes, and last.
another delivery.
Now, when it comes to lowering your car, obviously you've got a couple of options, and that is either lowered springs or lowering springs, as they call them in some countries, or coilovers. Now, we've done both, but most of the time we've done coilovers because we want some adjustability in terms of the height and the damping and things like that. But in terms of cost effectiveness, the Honda S2000, anyone who owns one or anyone who knows, they already handle awesomely. You know, like I've said, they've got good power straight out of the box. They're great cars, and a lot of people don't modify them for that reason. And the people who do modify them absolutely go to town. Now, it already feels great, and we're not trying to fix anything with the suspension, but we just want a bit more of an aggressive look. So we've chosen to go with springs. Now, also the other thing that's worth mentioning is when you're getting coilovers, a decent set can cost a couple of $1,000s, and then there's the setup and whatever. As the springs, you can get these for a few $100s, and it'll give us a drop, plus will remain some good drivability without too much noise, vibration, harshness, all that other stuff that a lot of people complain about when they do swap to coilovers. So it's just a matter now of taking the springs off the factory struts, and we should get around a 3 centimetre drop approximately, but obviously we'll see once they're on there. So let's get to it.
We're test fitting the spring to make sure it sits properly, and we're all good. So I'm going to do the other side while Miles starts test fitting our aftermarket bar.
So Benny's just laughing at my spring changing technique, and his actual line is, "You're not a mechanic, you'll be fine." And the funny thing is it's entirely accurate.
When you're working with aftermarket fiberglass body parts, they often need a bit of persuasion to fit, and our front bar is no exception. If you want to just bolt parts on and have a perfect fit, usually genuine factory parts are the way to go, but they can cost up to 20 times as much as aftermarket fiberglass, so it all depends on the look you're going for and, of course, your budget.
The front bar needs a little bit of extra massaging. Which Miles is massaging with an angle grinder. How are we looking? Are we getting closer to where we need to be?
Well, when we get these Grand Canyon of gaps out of here, we'll be closer. But at the moment, no.
We've finished the suspension on the front, and now we're moving to the rears.
So dropping the shock out of this side was easy. Just 2 bolts up top, 1 down the bottom, and out it came. On this side though, there's a whole lot of fuel lines and stuff above it, so it is a pain in the ass. But I just checked a Honda forum and learned what to do. So go forums, go internet, something like that. How you going, Miles?
Good. Just having a break.
How's our awesome fitment on our front bar?
It's good after an angle grinder.
Factory fitment with an angle grinder?
Yeah, factory fitment, yeah.
Excellent.
To access the strut on the other side, I've got to remove some extra stuff, and Benny is not happy about it.
So Benny, we've had to pull this whole fuel filler off just to get to the strut. Have you seen that on any car ever before?
No,
Is that, how does it make you feel, in all honesty?
it just seems like design laziness.
Really?
It's like an afterthought. It's like, oh, we'll put all the struts in then. Oh, hang on, we've got to put fuel in somewhere. Let's just smash it in there. That won't ever get in the way.
Wow. Certainly not like that on the Subarus, is it, Benny?
No.
It's not like that on Nissans either, I'm happy to say.
Nah. This is why we can't have nice things.
Changing this rear spring took longer than the other 3 corners combined, but finally it's almost done.
All right, so the springs are in, which means we can put the fuel filler neck back on. Then we're going to drop it down and test fit the wheels. And that's about all we've got time for today. And hopefully next time around here, Marty might come and visit us with some of his MX-5 mates. Never know. If we're lucky.
I like the Honda.
Miles doesn't mind it. He's all right.
I'm growing less fond of it by the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then finally, Mechanical Steve has had enough Honda.
Tools down, then he's gone.
He literally did not come back, so Miles and I finished off the springs and then threw on the new rims to check the fitment. If you want more information on how to do any of the mods in this episode, we've done detailed videos on changing speakers, installing head units, installing lowered springs, and installing coilovers, which you can check out on our channel. The moment of truth. The car is coming down. The springs will settle over the next few days and drop even further, but it's already looking awesome. We got so much stuff done today, but there's so much more to do. Next time on Mighty Car Mods.